What's the good word, y'all? It's your boy DKB here. So right now we're looking at a very weird situation through my eyes. Jets fans versus Robert Saleh, specifically in regard to Zach Wilson. So here's what I mean. Zach Wilson was thrust into a situation that none of us would have expected in our wildest dreams. When Aaron Rodgers went down only 4 snaps into his regular season career with the New York Jets, and Zach Wilson comes sweeping in. Now, things looked unspectacular. They looked unsteady. They even looked iffy basically the entire time Zach Wilson was out there on the field. But he did make a couple big plays. Even though the throw wasn't great, it got to Garrett Wilson. He was able to take it the rest of the way. And he didn't really do a ton to hurt the New York Jets' chances of winning. We ultimately ended up winning. Everybody, for the most part, even with the Aaron Rodgers news, should have been ecstatic. And yet, what the New York Jets fans decided to do was, as he's entering the tunnel, Zach Wilson gets a water bottle thrown at him. And, luckily he shakes it off, embraces Woody Johnson. But nonetheless, very distasteful. And this hasn't been the first incident. Us as New York Jets fans, we have belittled and degraded and done some of the most disrespectful things to Zach Wilson and his family since he's been here and since we've kind of seen his career on the downward spiral. Now, there's only 2 types of fans when it comes to Zach Wilson. Those that have 100% belief that man can be great, this coaching staff can get it done, and we're going to be looking at a Hall of Fame type of career. Or the other spectrum where they think that man needs to be, packing shopping bags somewhere, and they mean yesterday. They don't want this man to see the field whatsoever, and we need to do whatever we need to do to put ourselves in a situation to obtain a quarterback of the future, a new one at least. This is interesting because Robert Saleh has backed Zach Wilson 99% of the time. Really, the only time I recall Robert Saleh kind of frame away from having his full support, and he later came back and kind of, packaged it in a different way, was when Zach Wilson didn't support his defense, when, of course, he made the comments about not letting the defense down after having a, shut down game, basically. Other than that, it's always kind of been, shifting the blame elsewhere on himself, on the coaching staff, the inability to put an effective plan together for him, whether that's the actual game plan versus the opponent or the game plan in terms of getting him developed properly. And so we got the same story this time, right? Aaron Rodgers went out, next man up mentality, but he's giving him full support. He has the reins of the offense for the season. And, of course, no matter what a coach says, that can be short-lived very, very quickly if we start piling up some losses, especially in this early part of the season. And so, let's say in a perfect world, right? Zach Wilson finishes this season. We actually make the playoffs. Maybe we even win a playoff game. We become essentially the 2023 version of the New York Giants. Zach Wilson shows us more than enough to be comfortable that this coaching staff has done a great job. We can continue to do a great job, and knowing that we at least kept our first-round pick and can probably support him with even another big talented piece on the offense, we start to feel a lot better about things, right? What in the world would make Zach Wilson and his family want to continue in good faith to become a long-standing part of this New York Jets franchise? Again, at every possible turn that we've had, we've done some malicious things to him and his family. Jets fans have targeted his mom. Of course, we fed off of the whole Cougar drama. We still have all of the jokes. That one's a little bit more lighthearted, but the attacks and the disrespect towards his mother was one thing. The physical assault on Zach Wilson, it's a water bottle, and I'm sure it was an empty one, yes, but still, the physical assault on Zach Wilson himself is, beyond me, right? These are the times where I'm definitely ashamed to be bleeding green and white, and I wouldn't want to be associated with the franchise in any manner, but through thick and thin, as they say. So where does that leave Robert Saleh, right? He's kind of the odd man out, because if it does work out, great. Not only does this look excellent for him and Joe Douglas, that they turn probably what was ultimately always a good pick, but failed early, into a success story a la Geno Smith, which is going to be the easiest connection people make out there. But will Zach Wilson want to go through the hell of if things start to slightly go wrong again? You know, Jets fans are out to get him. If I was him, I'd be looking at the earliest exit. Of course, I want to play all of the games that I potentially can. And, you know, obviously this is the franchise that drafted him. All of those sentimental things are great. But this is that terrible side of being a gangrene New York Jets fan that will turn away many a player, right? No matter all of the good things that Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh has done to cultivate this, uber positive culture, have this tight embrace between the entire team, even when things are going absolutely terrible wrong. It's disappointing to see. So for one, the video's like 11 seconds. I'll post a link to it in the comments below so you can check it out for yourselves. But many people probably won't even care about this, to be 100%. A lot of people want them out anyways, kind of as I, touched on a little bit. But we got to put it together. We got to pull ourselves together, guys. We can't be out here doing this kind of nonsense to our guys, regardless of how terrible they are. If nothing else, go back to the classic days. Pull together some money, buy yourself a plane, let Woody Johnson know that we're not feeling his quarterback, and we've seen him cave into pressure before. Things might be a little bit different now, but at least that's a much better outlet for handling things and showing how we want things to shift for this team. But with that said, I'm hoping Zach Wilson does go on to have a very successful season. Again, I've seen some improvements. I won't say it's leaps and bounds, but we have something to work with here right now. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on pretty much the whole situation, and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.